from the Podwires newsroom at joinpodwires.com.
Good morning. I'm bringing you 5 things you need to know about what's happening in the podcast world right now. From major platforms making moves to the industry hitting massive growth milestones, here's what's shaping how we listen. Let's get into it. First up, podcasting just got a seat at Hollywood's big table. Spotify and The Hollywood Reporter dropped the first ever Podcast Roundtable, basically taking the format they've done for years with actors and A-list talent and giving it to podcast creators. We're talking heavy hitters: Keith Morrison from Dateline, Mel Robbins, Ben Shapiro, Ashley Flowers from Crime Junkie, Dax Shepard, and Jon Favreau from Pod Say America, all sitting down together to talk about where podcasting is headed. Why it matters? This isn't just industry backslapping. The timing lines up with the Golden Globes adding a Best Podcast category for the first time. Translation: podcasting is officially part of the entertainment mainstream now, not just a side hustle. If you're creating content or thinking about it, the barrier to recognition just got a lot lower. Thing number 2, the podcast market is about to explode. A new forecast from Market US projects the global podcast industry will jump from just under $3 billion this year to over $30 billion by 2034. That's a tenfold increase in a decade, with growth averaging about 26% every year. Here's what's driving it. AI-powered recommendations are getting scarily good at knowing what you want to listen to next, and people are willing to pay for it. Subscription revenue now makes up nearly 62% of the market, meaning listeners want ad-free, personalized experiences enough to actually spend money on them. Why it matters: if you've ever thought about starting a podcast, monetizing one, or just wondered why every brand suddenly has one, this is why. There's real money moving into the space, and the next 10 years are going to see massive competition for your earbuds. On to number 3. The New York Times is making a major play for video, and they're using their podcast playbook to do it. CEO Meredith Kopit-Levien told investors the Times is turning most of its award-winning podcasts into video shows. They shut down their standalone audio app in September, but last month added a watch tab to their main news app, focused on vertical video for mobile. The strategy is clear: meet audiences where they're actually consuming content. The Times added 460,000 digital subscribers in just the third quarter, bringing their total to over 12 million. And they're betting that giving people more ways to engage, reading, listening, and now watching, will keep that growth going. Why it matters? This is the blueprint for how legacy media is adapting. If the Gray Lady is pivoting to short-form video and multi-platform storytelling, expect everyone else to follow. The future of news isn't just one format anymore. It's all of them at once. Thing 4 brings us down under. Australia just launched a game-changing tool for podcast advertising. Commercial Radio and Audio unveiled Commercial Radio ID, which is now live and trading through Google's Display and Video 360 platform. It's basically a unified identity system that lets advertisers reach nearly 15 million monthly listeners across multiple networks: ARN, 9 Audio, Nova Entertainment, and Southern Cross Australia, all in one simplified workflow. Here's the technical bit that actually matters. It's privacy safe, allows for smarter targeting and frequency management, and gives advertisers more scale than both BVOD and ad-supported Spotify in the Australian market. So why it matters? This is how podcasting becomes easier to buy for advertisers, which means more money flowing to creators. If you're making content, this kind of infrastructure is what makes podcasting from a passion project into a viable career. Watch for similar systems to roll out in other markets. And finally, thing 5. PodSqueeze just launched a text-based audio editor that's going to make a lot of creators' lives easier. Instead of jumping between multiple programs, you can now upload your audio and edit it directly through a text interface. Think editing a transcript and having the audio automatically adjust. It includes automatic removal of filler words and silences, one-click audio enhancement, and a waveform view for precise cuts. Co-founder Tiago says video editing for video podcasts is coming soon, making this a true end-to-end production tool. Why it matters? The easier it gets to produce quality content, The more competition there is, but also the lower the barrier to entry. If you've been sitting on a podcast idea but felt intimidated by the technical side, tools like this are changing the game. That's your 5 things for today: podcasting's growth, evolution, and the tools shaping its future. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you tomorrow with 5 more stories you need to know.
That's your wrap. Want the inside track on podcasting? Join podwires.com is your next stop. Subscribe to the newsletter for the latest trends and tap into the marketplace to connect with jobs, creators, and brands shaping audio's future. Don't just listen, get involved. Head to joinpodwires.com today.